The State University of New York College at Geneseo, also known as SUNY Geneseo, Geneseo State or, colloquially, Geneseo, is a college in the State University of New York system located in Geneseo, Livingston County, New York, United States. Originally, the college was founded in 1871 as the Wadsworth Normal and Training School before becoming a state liberal arts college in 1948. It is a member of the Council of Public Liberal Arts Colleges. Academics. Geneseo is classified as a four-year public liberal arts college. It has 48 undergraduate majors, 6 graduate programs and 25 interdisciplinary minors. The most popular majors in descending order are education, business, the social sciences, biology, and psychology. The student population is approximately 5,000, with a student-faculty ratio of 19:1 and an average class size of 25. Nearly 90% of Geneseo's full-time faculty holds a PhD or other terminal degree. Geneseo ranks number 1 in the nation for four-year graduation rates among comprehensive colleges and is currently tied for highest freshman retention rate out of any public college or university in New York. Geneseo is part of the New York Space Grant Consortium, and is provided grants by NASA to support outer space-related research on campus. Due to this participation, Geneseo is designated as a space grant institution. Humanities and core curriculum. One of the differentiating hallmarks of SUNY Geneseo's curriculum is the requirement that each student take 2 4-credit survey courses in Western humanities, in addition to a wide distribution of core courses in the arts and sciences. Western Humanities 1 and Western Humanities 2, as they are called, are taught by faculty members from various departments. Individual core syllabi share many historical, philosophical, and literary texts with other courses, creating a common knowledge base within the undergraduate student body. A distribution of core courses in the humanities, languages, and sciences further ensures that Geneseo students are well versed in the liberal arts tradition of education. The entire general education curriculum is outlined below and must be completed by students of all majors. 2 courses in natural sciences, 2 courses in social sciences, 2 courses in fine arts, 2 courses in Western humanities, 1 course in numeric symbolic reasoning, 1 course in U.S. history, 1 course in non-Western traditions, 1 course in critical reading writing, competency within a foreign language. Study abroad. Nearly 40% of Geneseo's students participate in study abroad programs either through the college or the SUNY system. One of Geneseo's most popular study abroad programs is its offering of the Humanities I course in either Rome, Athens or New York City, and the Humanities II course in either Paris, Prague, El Source, or at Oxford University. The most well-known program is the Mediterranean Routes Humanities I program, where students travel to Greece, Italy and Spain for 6 weeks. Administration. Following the recent retirement of longtime President Christopher Dahl, the current interim president of the college is Carol S. Long. After narrowing down candidates, it was announced Dr. Denise Battles would be the new president of the college, taking office in July 2015. Rankings and admissions. In 2008, Kiplinger's Personal Finance listed the college as the number 1 best value public college in the nation for out-of-state students, and number 6 in the nation for in-state residents. Geneseo has been distinguished in Kiplinger's top 10 best value public colleges, both in and out of state, since 2005. U.S. News & World Report Unregistered Trademark S 2005 edition of Guide to America Unregistered Trademark S Best Colleges. Geneseo is ranked number 12 in the category Best Universities Master Unregistered Trademark S for all colleges, public or private, in the northern region. Geneseo is also ranked number 2 among the top public universities in the north. Geneseo was listed in the 2005 Fisk Guide to Colleges, a guide published annually by former New York Times education editor Edward B. Fisk. In the Fisk Guide, Geneseo is highlighted as a Best Buy school, and is lauded for its academic programs, accessible professors and hometown atmosphere. the Princeton Review profiled Geneseo in the 2005 edition of the Princeton Review Euro Unregistered Trademark Guide to the Best 357 Colleges, and the college was ranked number 3 on the publication A Euro Unregistered Trademark list of best bargains A Euro public among all public colleges and universities nationwide. Geneseo has been regularly profiled in the Princeton Review, Kiplinger's, Fisk, and U.S. News & World Report in annual publications since 1985. In 2008, Kiplinger's reported that SUNY Geneseo could just be the best public college you've never heard of, as the publication ranks it the number 1 public school in the nation for the best valued first-rate education for out-of-state students. U.S. News & World Report magazine has named the State University of New York at Geneseo among 80 colleges and universities in the country with a strong commitment to undergraduate teaching. The special list is contained in the magazine A Euro Unregistered Trademark 2010 rankings of the county A Euro Unregistered Trademark top colleges and universities. Other national distinctions include recognitions from Money magazine and Yahoo! Internet Life's 100 Most Wired Campuses list. Recent recognition for Geneseo has also come in the New York Times. In July 2006, the Times profiled 20 colleges and universities of established or rising scholarship, which are fast becoming viable alternatives to private institutions. In addition to its characterization of Geneseo as one of this country's hidden gems, the Times noted that the college is increasingly seen as a first choice for high achievers, and further observed that as the most selective of SUNY's comprehensive colleges, Geneseo is fast becoming New York's alternative for students who chose not to go to the Ivies. SUNY rankings all SUNY schools are part of the same university system, the State University of New York. Different schools are different in character, program, quality, and prestige. Of all of the schools in the system, SUNY Geneseo, Stony Brook University, Binghamton University, and the University at Buffalo consistently rank the highest in national publications. In the 2011 Princeton Review report, for example, Geneseo, Binghamton, and Buffalo were ranked within the top 75 for best public college value. Binghamton, Buffalo, and Stony Brook are doctoral granting universities and Geneseo is a master's granting college. Admissions Geneseo's acceptance rate is 59.1% as of 2015. Phi Beta Kappa Geneseo has joined 270 colleges and universities in the nation with chapters of the oldest academic honor society in the United States, Phi Beta Kappa. SUNY's 4 university centers already had chapters. Geneseo's establishment of a chapter is significant because it was the first of New York's 13 state university colleges to have received the honor. The inaugural Irish class was inducted to Geneseo's Alpha Gamma of New York chapter in April 2004. Campus. SUNY Geneseo is located on the east side of the Genesee Valley. Of the approximately 5,000 full-time residents in Geneseo, some 70% work at, or are in some way affiliated with the college, making Geneseo a college town. The campus is divided between the academic quad, north side, and south side, with all academic buildings contained within the academic quad. South side has 5 residence halls and a dining hall. The south side complex was designed by architect Edgar Taffel, one-time apprentice to Frank Lloyd Wright. Taffel also designed Brody Hall, home of Geneseo's 4 arts departments on the academic quad. Additionally, 44 on-campus townhouses, known as Saratoga Terrace, provide a connective corridor between Southside and the academic quad. The north side contains 11 residence halls, 2 dining halls and the Lauderdale Health Center. The academic quad comprising the upper and lower campuses contains all academic buildings, the College Union, Merritt Athletic Center, Wadsworth Auditorium and the Milne Library that provides amazing views of the Genesee Valley. The campus is laid out in generally the same shape as the state of New York. The residence halls are each named after counties within the state, though not all are placed in line with their same geography within the state. In 2003, the college began the largest single capital improvement project in the history of the SUNY system. The Integrated Science Facility is a 105,000 square foot, $32 million building equipped with a nuclear accelerator. Leslie E. Robertson Associates are the structural engineers in this project. The center opened in the spring of 2007. On the new building's opening, Green Hall was shut down and completely renovated at a cost of $20 million. One of the main attractions of SUNY Geneseo's campus beside the views of the valley is the architecture of many of the older buildings. The James B. Wells Building was constructed in 1932 and is the oldest building on campus with arches, gables, and broadleaf collegiate ivy draping its stone and brick facade. Formerly known as the Winfield Holcomb School, it served as the laboratory school for children in kindergarten through 6th grade. It now houses the departments of philosophy, political science, foreign language, and English. The James V. Sturgis Building, the central clock tower of the main Sturgis Quad, is Geneseo's signature building and contains the Alumni Carillon, which chimes on the hour and plays songs at various times during the day. Constructed in 1938, it formerly served as the administration building and now contains the offices of the history, psychology, anthropology, speech pathology, and sociology departments. Sturgis also holds classrooms and laboratories as well as the Geneseo Speech and Hearing Clinic. Wadsworth Auditorium is also one of the oldest buildings on campus. At the far end of the South Village residences, the college maintains the 20-acre Spencer J. Romer Arboretum, wherein are preserved more than 70 species of trees, shrubs and wildflowers, including a magnificent group of oak trees which are more than 200 years old, and several black walnut trees estimated to be over 100 years old. The Arboretum is used for both teaching and recreation. It also contains a gazebo in the college's memorial to 4 alumni who died in the September 11, 2001 attack on the World Trade Center in New York City, a gift left behind by the class of 2002 through the Senior Challenge program. East of the academic quad up a slight hill is Geneseo's Main Street that complements the quaint campus with a variety of shops, restaurants and bars that students frequent throughout the week. Beyond Main Street is the historic village of Geneseo, marked by Victorian architecture, well-kept mansions, fraternity and sorority houses as well as several 19th-century churches. Planned expansion. The Lamron reported that SUNY Geneseo plans to acquire and refurbish Doty Hall, one of its former buildings, and to demolish a currently underutilized structure, the Holcomb Campus School, in order to build an open-air, artificial turf athletics stadium in 2013. Both projects are currently in progress, with the athletic stadium near completion. The Lamron reports that SUNY Geneseo will acquire Doty Hall and update its electrical and plumbing systems, as well as modernizing the new workspace. SUNY Geneseo will be collaborating with the building's current tenants, the New York State Office for People with Developmental Disabilities, who will maintain their center on the building's first floor. SUNY Geneseo will move its Office of Admissions into the building as part of a new, more visible College Welcomes Center. Then the Center for International Students, the Hearing and Speech Clinic, and the Department of Communicative Disorders and Science were all scheduled to move into Doty, but with the program curtailments and the closing of the Communicative Disorder Department, new plans are being developed for the utilization of the space. These moves will free up space in Sturgis Hall and Owen Hall, and reconnects a highly visible plot of land with the campus. In addition to providing a turf playing field for Geneseo's soccer, field hockey, and lacrosse programs, Commencement will be held at the new stadium, eliminating the cost and hassle of annually erecting a temporary stadium in the B-lot parking area. Traditions and campus culture. Geneseo's students celebrate many long-standing traditions and campus legends. The Bronze Bear. Just off campus, in the center of Main Street in Geneseo sits the famous Bronze Bear statue. The bear also plays host to any number of spontaneous decorations and pranks throughout the academic year. A story also circulates that one of the wealthy Wadsworth daughters saw the bear fountain in a small town in Germany, fell in love with it, bought it, and sent it back to Geneseo in the early 19th century. This story is unverified, but an excerpt from a history of the family that settled the valley implies that this is not true, and that the fountain was designed and built for its current location. Main Street is still dominated by a drinking fountain for horses dedicated to Mrs. Emmeline Austin Wadsworth. For some obscure reason its designer placed a short pole in its center on top of which sits a cunning little iron bear, who is generally known as Aunt Emmeline. Campus legend also says that if a virgin graduates from the college, the bear will spring to life and run away, a legend that attaches itself to campus statues all over the U.S. The Greek tree in the Sturgis Quad, students from different Greek organizations sneak about late at night to paint a Greek tree. 2. There are so many layers of paint on the tree that the original contours of the bark and trunk are obscured. Despite the years of paint, the tree continues to grow and produce leaves. The exact date when this practice began is unknown, but alumni report that it began sporadically during the 1950s and became regular practice in the mid to late 1960s. The Sioux Spruce Also in the Sturgis Quad is the famous Sioux Spruce, so called because it looks like a Dr. Seuss illustration. It is said that the tree's shape was due to being weighed down by ice and snow during the particularly tough winter of 1991. Now the tree simply grows in a crooked and slightly spiral shape. It's more likely that the tree is the cultivated variety Glauca pendula or a similar spruce. Adding to the Seussian quality of the tree is the fact that the bottom branches fan out along the ground. Sunsets Geneseo is known for visually striking sunsets, with students and alumni saying the sunset at Geneseo was once ranked by National Geographic magazine as one of the top 10 in the world. This claim has since been proved to be false. National Geographic publishes no such ranking, but lives on in campus lore. Near the center of campus, there is a gazebo providing panoramic views of the Geneseo Valley, where there also is an unobstructed view of sunsets on clear evenings. As is tradition on many college campuses, it is said that a couple who kisses in the gazebo at sunset is destined to be engaged and later wed. Ice hockey games In recent years, men's ice hockey games in the Ira S. Wilson Ice Arena have become major campus events drawing sellout crowds of students and community members. A pep band has been formed and student groups often offer promotions, such as handing out noisemakers to the capacity crowds. Alma mater The lyrics to the school song, sung at Convocation, Commencement, and other formal events are as follows. An older and longer version of the Alma Mater from a 1929 student handbook has 3 verses and a chorus. Chorus, then cheer for Alma Mater, our foster mother dear. May her sons and daughters ever love her from year to year. May they her memory cherish, in duty never fail, nor let her honor perish. To Geneseo all hail. College seal and logotype. The Geneseo College seal, featured in the info box above, was unveiled in July 1968. According to the college's Office of Publications, the seal is a visual representation of the college's location and mission. The circular design features a flame from the torch of knowledge surrounded by leaves symbolic of the bucolic setting of SUNY Geneseo and its growth. Both are atop waves symbolizing the historic Geneseo River. In 1986, the college designed a logo to provide the college with an identity mark that was more readily identifiable than the college seal and was not meant to replace the college seal. Again drawing on the college's unique surroundings, the graphic underneath the word Geneseo symbolizes the rolling and rural character of the surrounding Geneseo Valley. The typeface used in this logo, and in many other college publications, is Galliard. In October 2012, Geneseo unveiled a new logotype intended to replace the one that was adopted in the 80s. Bill Caron, Geneseo's Associate Vice President of Enrollment, stated that the new word mark reflected Geneseo's competitors' logos, which are less stylized. If Geneseo wants to be perceived in the same category as its competitors, Caron added, it would be good to have a logo that corresponds on the same level. The introduction of the new logotype was met with mixed responses by the student body, although its implementation throughout campus continued unhindered. Notable alumni and faculty. Alumni Arts and Culture, Glenn Gordon Caron, executive producer of TV series Medium, and Moonlighting, Greg Fox, artist-writer of nationally syndicated comic strip Carl's Bed and Breakfast. Kurt Smith, author, broadcaster and Republican speechwriter for President George H.W. Bush. Popular culture, Greg O.P. Hughes, radio broadcaster from The Opie with Jim Norton Show, formerly The Opie and Anthony Show, brother of the Phi Sigma Xi fraternity. Chelsea Noble, film and TV actress, sister of the Alpha Clonian sorority. William Sadler, actor best known for his roles in The Shawshank Redemption and Roswell. J.T. The Brick, Fox Sports radio talk show host. Jenna Wolfe, anchor of NBC's Weekend Today. Jimmy the Cat Hayes, broadcaster, St. Louis Cardinals. CBS 920M radio morning drive. Brittany Lauder, voice actress and director for anime and video games, notable for Hunipop and Ladies vs. Butlers. Sciences, Brian L. DeMarco, assistant professor of physics, University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. DeMarco's research into a new state of matter won Science magazine's distinction as one of the top 10 scientific discoveries of 1999. Mai-Hang V. Hune is a scientist at the Los Alamos National Laboratory who was presented an E.O. Lawrence Award in 2007 by Secretary of Energy Samuel W. Bodman for her research and development of ecologically friendly explosives which replace those made with lead and mercury. In 2007 the MacArthur Foundation awarded Hune the Genius Grant, otherwise called the MacArthur Fellows Program. Government, Business, Law, Jeff Clark, CEO of Kodak, Amy Collins, CEO of New Shelves Book Publishing, Jackie Norris, former Chief of Staff to First Lady Michelle Obama. Raymond Walter, New York State Assemblyman, 146th District. Faculty Bill Cook and Ron Heersman, distinguished teaching professors of, respectively, History and English. Rita K. Gollin, distinguished professor emerita of English. Walter Harding, former distinguished professor emeritus of English. Carol Harter, Geneseo's 11th president before assuming the presidency of UNLV from 1995 to 2006. Owen McKernan, professor 1949 to 1959, early scholar of Irish studies. Robert W. O'Donnell, distinguished teaching professor of biology. Rudy Rucker, professor of mathematics 1972–1978, author of mathematical science fiction novels such as White Light and the Wet Tetralogy. He is considered a founder of the cyberpunk literary movement and developed the concept of transrealism. James Willey, distinguished teaching professor emeritus of music, composer. Athletics and sports. Teams and programs. Geneseo's athletic program is part of the NCAA Division III. They are a member of the State University of New York Athletic Conference. Geneseo has 20 varsity sports programs including basketball and Zandermans, cross-country, equestrian, field hockey, ice hockey, lacrosse, soccer, softball, swimming, tennis, indoor-outdoor track and field, and volleyball. Although they are not NCAA programs, Geneseo also has several very competitive club sports teams that compete in intercollegiate play. These include rowing, rugby, baseball, ice hockey, water polo, volleyball, downhill skiing, tennis, fencing, ultimate frisbee, and cheerleading. There are also many intramural sport offerings, including the perennial College Classic, Broomball. Student organizations. Geneseo students participate in a wide range of diverse organizations and activities, including the Lamron, an independent student newspaper published since 1922, Geneseo Student Television, an award-winning Model United Nations team, a nationally competitive Federal Reserve Challenge Club, WGSU, a federally licensed radio station, 4 acclaimed a cappella groups, musical theater club, and several local and national Greek organizations. Fraternities. National, Alpha Chi Rho, Sigma Alpha Mu, Lambda Alpha Upsilon, Alpha Phi Alpha, Kappa Sigma, Pi Kappa Phi. Local, Omega Beta Psi, Delta Kappa Tau, Sigma Nu Chi, Phi Sigma Xi, Phi Kappa Chi, Sigma Tau Psi, Zeta Beta Xi, Men of Action and Change. Sororities. National, Zeta Phi Beta, Sigma Psi Zeta, Sigma Kappa, Sigma Delta Tau, Delta Phi Epsilon, Lambda Pi Upsilon, Alpha Sigma Tau, Local, Alpha Delta Epsilon, Alpha Kappa Phi, Alpha Omega Pi, Phi Kappa Pi, Phi Lambda Chi, Sigma Gamma Phi, Sisters Making a Change, Royal Lady Knights. Others equals, Alpha Kappa Psi, Alpha Phi Omega, Phi Beta Lambda, Nu Sigma Eta, Gamma Chi Epsilon. References. External links, official website, official athletics website.